angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to have you joining me here for today's video. Today's video is absolutely fascinating to me because we are diving into yet another entity, being, angel of sorts. It's really unknown as to what exactly this woman is. But what is known is that this woman is frequently seen more often around the holidays. We are going to be diving into the legend of the begging woman, or known by some as the weeping woman, and why, if you come across her, you should always help her. Now, if you've been on my channel, you would know that I absolutely love giving back around the holidays, around Christmas. I would like to believe that anytime I ever see anybody in need and I'm able to help, I will always go above and beyond to do my best to help them. And that's just what I was always taught. But what's interesting about this legend, and I'm gonna get more into it at the end after I tell you what exactly the legend is that it reminds me a lot about different things my grandma taught me spiritually when I was growing up. So when I read about this, I have no doubt in my mind that whatever she is, she exists, and I also do believe you should in fact help her. Now, directly behind my camera right now, my second dog, Blue, is snoring as per usual. So if you hear that rumbling, it's just her. Apologies in advance. I don't know if you can see Ace is up here as well. It's a family affair today. But without further ado, let's get into the legend of the begging woman or the weeping woman and what to do if you come across her. So I personally have no idea where this specific legend originated from. In fact, this woman has been seen all across the world in many different places, appearing in many different forms. And I think there's actually other versions of this woman as well as religiously, which we'll get into in a little bit. No, we're not gonna get into religion, just you'll understand more when we get to that point in the video. But it is said that this woman appears around times where people can become greedy. So holidays like Christmas are really big ones. Perhaps your birthday, not that people are greedy on their birthdays, but just holidays where you may become more self-centered. It is also said that this woman will seek out greedy people in order to test them. Now, this woman will appear to you in many different forms, and that's what makes it so interesting, is that she never shows herself the same way twice, but she has similar features about her. More often than not, she struggles to walk. She has a little bit of a hunchback. She appears to be very frail and in weak condition. Sometimes she has a cane, sometimes she has no teeth, but she appears to you as a woman in need. Now, there are a couple of different tests she'll do to you, so to speak. One of which being just asking if you could spare some change. Now, what's really interesting about this entity or angel, whatever you want to call her, and I'll get into why there's different versions in a bit, is she will only ask people for change knowing that they have it. So it truly is a test. She will not ask people for change who don't have change on them and have literally nothing to give her. She will ask you if you have some spare change, knowing that you have spare change, to see if you will give out of the goodness of your heart or if you will hold on for greed. Now, what's interesting again about this particular woman is that she appears in a way that you should feel compelled to give, so they say. So she'll appear as a weak, frail old lady, as a mother. Sometimes she'll have what looks like a baby wrapped up in a blanket. She appears very, very desperate, and she appears to be in this situation not by her own doings, if that makes sense. Another way that the woman will appear to you is that she'll either appear to have fallen down or she'll appear to not be able to cross the street quick enough. So she will either make it obvious in front of you to see if you, out of the goodness of your own heart, will do it without having to be asked, or if you don't do it out of the goodness of your own heart, she will ask you to help her and see what your answers will be. Another way that the woman will appear to you is asking for food. Going on to say anything, even the smallest of things, some crackers, just I am starving, please, and to see if you will give out of the goodness of your heart. But again, this woman in all the different tales knows that these people had the funds to do so and had the time to do so. So it's not like she's asking somebody with no money to help out. It's not like she's asking somebody who doesn't have the time to go and get the crackers to help out. She spiritually knows that you are able to help out and therefore waits to see what you're going to do. There are many of ways that this woman is said to appear to you, but what ties it all together is what she says afterwards. If you help the woman, it is said that she will look directly in your eyes, hold onto your hands, and say, "Bless you." And the people who have felt this said they felt as though energy went through their entire body in a way that they've never felt before, and within moments of the woman walking away, they never see her again. But in the following weeks after seeing this woman, blessing after blessing comes into their lives in ways that they can't even explain. One girl said that she came in contact with the woman and gave her last $5 to her as she felt bad for her. The woman held her hands, told her that she blessed her, and within a couple of weeks, thousands of dollars came to her. Like, what? But the people who didn't help the woman either walked right past her and ignored her, told her no, looked down on her, or just didn't care to help. They have reported afterwards that bad things happened to them following, that a lot of negative things started happening in their lives. There was a lot of financial loss, just negative things began happening. And that's why a lot of them end up learning about the woman, because they start Googling about her, trying to see what happened. Because supposedly, if you don't help the woman, she will say something along the lines of, "You've acted in greed," or "What an act of greed," or "You're selfish." There's a couple of different ones for if you don't help the woman. But again, it's because supposedly this woman knows that they had it to give and they had the time to give. It would be like me having $10 worth of loonies and toonies in my pocket, and a frail old woman asks me for $1, and I'm like, I don't have it, but meanwhile, I could spare that dollar, you know? That is basically the woman. But here's what I really want to talk about. So Grams has always taught me from a very, very young age to be kind to everyone, not just because you should be kind, but also because you never know what's a test and you never know who's an angel in disguise. There are so many stories throughout history where people have helped people in need, and it turns out that they were an angel in disguise, or it was a test and many blessings were to come to them, or even just a test of your true inner morals. I remember in my 6th grade classroom, there was like something up on the wall that said, "Character is who you are when nobody's watching." And it's so true, like in moments like that where you're selflessly giving, it's a true testament to your character and your morals. And I personally have just been brought up to always give. But what confuses me about this woman is I don't know yet whether she's an angel in disguise or if she's an entity who wants to bring justice or, you know, help out the world. I'm really curious to know what you guys think, because I can't really imagine angels punishing you after you don't help them whatsoever. But I do find it very interesting that plenty of people have came into contact with the begging woman or the weeping woman. Oh, I also didn't mention, the reason that she's also called the weeping woman is because sometimes she'll be crying out of desperation, begging for help and seeing who it is that will help her. I also read that there was one girl who had seen this woman asking all of these people for help and weeping, and she took it upon herself to walk over and sit with the woman. And the woman sat there and told her that she was going to have an abundant life and that she was so grateful for her help and that the thing she'd been praying most for was coming to her. And a week later, she found out she was pregnant with her rainbow baby. So I don't know if that's the same woman, but it just gives me absolute chills. You guys know my Grams has met angels in real life, and it's just interesting how angels can be walking among us and we have no idea. And you shouldn't just be kind to people because you assume they could be an angel. But I do think it's interesting to imagine that people that we come into contact with daily, some of them may be from the angelic realm. Either way, if you see a begging woman, a weeping woman, anybody who seems to be in need and you have the means and the time to help them, I really encourage you to do so. It's the most beautiful feeling to know that you can help improve somebody's earthly experience and somebody's day. You know, I always think about this. People will often walk by the homeless and ignore them and whatnot. And while I understand there are certain circumstances and people who ruin it for the true people in need, I always think to myself, like, nobody wakes up and says, you know, I want to be someone on the streets who has to beg somebody for their help. I'm sure it's a very difficult situation. I know it's an incredibly difficult situation for them to be in. And I just, even if I don't have money on me or anything to give in that moment, I'll always say a prayer for them and tell them, God bless you, or, you know, I'm praying for you. And so many times the smile on their faces is just one of the most incredible, beautiful things in the entire world. Just never know what even acknowledging somebody like that can do for them. You just never know. What do you guys think of the begging woman? Do you think it's an urban legend? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's an entity, a spirit, an angel? What do you think? I would definitely love to know down in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on all of it? I personally think even if it's an urban legend, it's a good reminder to just always give back. I really believe what we put out in life, we get back. And you shouldn't do things just to get back good. But it feels good to put out good and receive good and just live in a space of like a collective. Like we're all navigating this crazy world that can be so difficult all the time, even though we're all battling our own demons. I just think why not help one another where we can. So that is it for today's video. I know it's a little bit shorter. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I thought it was very interesting. Let me know if you happen to come across the begging or weeping woman this holiday season. It said she is out now more than ever, so definitely keep your eyes peeled. And if you see the weeping woman or the begging woman, I would suggest helping her out. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my content, I would love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I will be seeing you again tomorrow as I am uploading every single day this month. It is going to be so much fun. We're just getting started. I've got some crazy cases coming this week that I have done so much research into. I'm surprised my brain didn't explode, but it is so worth it. So definitely turn on your post notifications if you have yet to do so. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until tomorrow, I love you.